I'm Matt Williamson. How's everyone doing? I am tremendous. We are about a week away from NFL kickoff Thursday night. I'm recording this Wednesday evening, but you're probably listening to this Thursday. So a week from today, we will be watching a Thursday nighter, and then the Steelers play a couple days after. So things are happening quick. Holiday weekend coming up. I'm going away to Deep Creek. Excited about that. See my buds, do my fantasy drafts. We do that every year. But the Steelers' initial first practice squad was just released, and 16 players. And what's crazy, and this is rare, all 16 of them were like Steelers a couple days ago. You know, they didn't grab anyone from another team. And frankly, I'm pretty happy about that, because there was a lot of dudes they let go that were my becoming more famous. Famous isn't the word, of guys I want to see in Latrobe in 2026. I think there's a lot of those guys I'm interested in, as well as some veterans. We're going to go through this whole list that might be useful this year as a call-up, or one injury away from being useful. And it's basically all the names that, whenever we went through roster 53, and this guy would be someone I'm not considering for the 53, but if you get him on the practice squad, great. And before we do the names, I don't mean to stir the pot, because I don't know if there's any truth to this or not, but I've been getting a handful of questions about the quarterback situation that, just random Twitter people just asking me, probably some of you, which is cool. Always be interested. Reach out whenever you want. That are the Steelers keeping these 4 quarterbacks for a while just to extend trade talk time frame for Skylar Thompson? I don't know. I honestly don't have that answer. Kenny Pickett went to the Raiders since we talked last. Pickett is quickly becoming that journeyman, many teams in a short amount of time. I said the same thing about Sam Howell. Crazy that entire draft class is taking that approach. But you guys know I'm interested in Jacoby Myers for the Steelers, and a bunch of people were like, well, send them Skylar Thompson because O'Connell got hurt. Well, I think they were aiming a little higher than that. I don't know if that was part of the Steelers-Raiders conversations. It sounds like there has been some, but I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. Maybe they are waiting and taking their time with that 4th quarterback spot, with the thought that maybe they can turn Skylar Thompson into something, or make him part of a trade to bring a receiver in. I don't know, but I've gotten a lot of questions with that. I just wanted to bring it out there. But here is their Steelers' first practice squad. And these things change a lot. Someone comes available, you dump a dude, etc. But we know right now the Steelers are really light at defensive back. But they brought back all the guys I wanted them to, and several of them I thought could have made this team. Namely Beanie Bishop, Pierre, and Castro. So all 3 of those guys are currently Steelers property, as is Deshaun Jameson and Daryl Porter, who they picked up late in the process, both of whom made plays not only in preseason, but camp. So 5 defensive backs out of your 16 are the names I just mentioned. So that's good, considering how light you are right this second at defensive back. So you're just a week away from promoting Pierre back or something along those lines. Cool. Now, the defensive linemen, this is how the Steelers have them listed on Steelers.com. One of them's Leal, which I don't really consider a D lineman. I look at him more as, by their terms, outside linebacker. But I really don't think he's much different than Sawyer, which is, yes, meant to be somewhat of a negative connotation towards Sawyer. They're both big, physical, not very good pass rushers, edge setters, tough guys. Fine, but that's not a real important trait for that position, but they have value considering her big size. I'm glad Leal's back. I mean, I kind of thought he was a player without a home, but that doesn't mean I wanted him to disappear. And if I could get 16 guys on the practice squad, I definitely wanted him to be one of them. And then Kyler Baugh is another one. And remember, they kept 8 defensive tackle types, so they're not going to go heavy here. Baugh's the only one. I don't know a ton about him, but I have gotten the impression every step of the way that they're pretty happy with him. Maybe they found somebody and is a good, I want to see him in Latrobe next year guy. Julius Welshoff is a freebie because he is part of the foreign exemption situation. Fine, he's flashed as well. I was really happy with the two offensive linemen they brought back, Dylan Cook and Stephen Jones. I wish there were more. When in doubt, just load your practice squad with offensive linemen. But I think we know enough about Cook and Jones. We've talked about them quite a bit. They're both tackles. I like that. Jones is also very guard capable. So they could be in the mix for sure. I would think Cook is your first call up if you have any kind of tackle injury. And Jones, I think there's enough to work with that maybe he factors in down the line. The two running backs that I was torn on who should be the number 4, both are coming back. That's Trey Sermon and Lou Nichols, both of whom had pretty good preseasons. Nichols in particular, I thought was difficult to tackle. You knew you were going to keep a tight end. They have 4 on the roster, and that's J.J. Galbraith. Fine. He doesn't move the needle a lot for me, but okay. I mean, he knows the system. They're probably always going to have 4 active on game day, considering Hayward's special teams skills. So he's just one injury away from getting that nod, knowing the system. He didn't blow me away, but he did get a lot of playing time and got a fair amount of run in Latrobe as well. So he's kind of a comfortable guy here. I just don't see a lot of upside with him. And then they kept 3 receivers as well. Max Hurlman, who is the absolute definition of, I want to see him in Latrobe next year. Just a football player. I mean, probably a slot, but he can also get carries and special team skills. And I'd like to just keep him around the organization, and apparently they agree. Keyshawn Williams is the other. And Robert Woods, the veteran. Now, from what I've seen of Woods in a Steelers uniform, if you have to rely on him, you're probably in trouble to make plays at this stage of his career. But if you would have an injury or 2 at wide receiver in week 1, he only kept, 5 of them. So that makes, that would be an easy call up for if you have something that's, a problem and the turn that hits you all at once. Well, Woods at least knows what he's doing and all that good stuff. So that's what I got for today. A lot of familiar. I know not all these guys are household names to you guys. You didn't pay attention to deep into the roster, but some of you nerds do. And these are guys we've talked about that have shown up. And I was kind of flabbergasted that the entire practice squad are all Steeler dudes. It was not like snag someone from the Panthers or Browns or Bears or whatever. So that's rare. And you got the guys back that were the borderliners, the Pierres, the Bishops, etc. So good. Leal, guys we know pretty much about. So I'm very fine with this practice squad. More familiarity. So, all right, everyone. I will be back tomorrow.